Hello, how you doing this morning, God? And there's my one person or bot that's in the room. Comes every time I boot up. It's always there. Never participates in anything like that. It just poop. It pops right there, and looks like one person's on, but who knows what it is? Could be YouTube. Hello, everybody, everybody, everybody. This is me, yours truly. I'm always delivering quality. Hello, how you doing there, Mr. Price? All right, and I got a thumbs up. And well, let's see what this says. Hey brother, Parker Jr. Hello, how you doing? All right, people are in the room early. Look, I just decided to do this today because I went into my property backyard, got off work, went back. It's a lot of growth back there, lots and lots of growth. Trees over 22 feet tall. These were purchased as dwarf trees, and I'm working on it. It's very hot here. So I haven't had really good opportunity to go out there and chop all those trees down, get them down back down to 6 feet. Um, I had a vine that was going across a clothesline. Got to tell you, it's got to be honest with you, the truth. So much rain lately. Everything is growing fast. Everything is growing so fast, Mr. Price. I could not have said it better. It's growing fast, and I got to tell you, um, when I saw that growth back there, I bought this beautiful little knife. It was $20 priced at what I want to say here, priced at Home Depot. Now, what's going on now at Home Depot is that I go in there and I look at it. It was out of its packaging. Somebody opened it or they left a display open. Whatever the case, I go in, I get it for $10 instead of 20. You can't beat that. I come back, the knife is so sharp, it's serrated type of blade. I rub it across those vines that were at least felt like they were about 10 pounds worth of vines, and it was just knocking them out, knocking them out. And I tossed them over underneath of a apple tree for now. I'm just leaving it there for now to get it out of the way, wait for it to condense some, and then I'll put it somewhere else where I think it's needed for fertilization. That's a part of my chop and drop program. It works for me, and everything is going great. I got tomatoes out there now. I'm seeing. Um, yes, it took a while for me to get tomatoes this year. I just haven't been going to the yard and planting things out. Other thing I want to say is that my corn is weird. It's only about 4.5, about 5 feet tall. About 5 feet tall. Wait a minute. No. It's taller than that because I forgot. Just because it's inside of a tote, it's still sitting on the ground. It's still sitting on the ground. So it's about, God, I want to be accurate with it. About 6 feet. Because I keep thinking that it's sitting up because I think it is in a bucket, but it's not. It's sitting right on the ground in a Walmart bag filled with rich quality soil that I've made up with compost, peat moss, topsoil, perlite mixed together. And I don't mix it all that fine either. I mix it enough where I say, okay, it's getting equal balances of everything. And then I take it and fill a bag up. Boom, put it in, put the seeds in there, or I put the plant. This year I put the plants in there. The plants that I have now, the ones that I put in there a few weeks back, they are just as tall as the ones that stopped growing tall. And so I'm looking good now. I got to get back out there tomorrow and feed everything. Now I know they're talking rain, but if it rained later that evening, then I'm going to be able to still get it done. I'm going to put everything out. I've been out in that yard and I got a lot done today. Thank you for being a subscriber. Oh, anytime. Hello, family, and everything. And I'm gonna tell you something. I like to go and subscribe to people's channel because it helps. Every little bit helps. Ever since remember when we used to get a lot of activity on YouTube when it was. Now YouTube is like, I see more people on that different I've seen it on what's his name? A Broke Farmer 76, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. Um, and he's on another type of live stream with a picture of a duck, something I don't know the name of it. Hello, Morning Gardener and friends. See, people stopping and say hello. You know, they know how this is. You just come in and say hello. Um, I'm thinking now, start getting ready for my fall garden. How many of you out there feel that summer's already over? How many of you feel that summer's already pretty much over? How do you feel about that? Does it feel like you it's almost pretty much over? I do. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Because I mean, before we know it, it'll be slammed right back up there in the winter and it's cold. And I want to get some crabbing done before this year's out. I got to figure out a place to go. All I got to do is figure out a place to go. Baltimore, um, it's not like it used to be years ago. You know, it's really you can't just go anywhere unless you know where you're going at because it's treacherous. Everything is built up. Things are different now. I mean, I can't believe how much has changed. Let's see. What are you planning winter squash? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any winter squashes. I think the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some collard green and I'm thinking cabbage, and that's pretty much gonna be it for that. That being said, the weather was okay today. Cooperated, got a little hot as we got near the end of the evening, got it into the late part of the evening. Then it got a little hotter, and then no big deal. You're already in the house resting. Well, let's see. What are you planning on? Okay, got that. Okay, but everything's growing fine, folks. But like I said, I'm gonna control my fruit trees. They're coming down. They're getting done real short. Um, and another thing is uh, because of the pandemic, apple trees, all kind of fruit trees, are through the roof, in my opinion, as far as pricing goes. One store I used to shop at, still do if I have to, push come and shove, is the store called Stock Brothers. And their prices are like crazy now, like $55, $52 for a tree. Uh, and I remember when I bought it, it was like $25 for a tree. And that's not that long ago. Um, Pandemic came in, and boys came in priced. And then they did one little dip one time where they did a Bartlett pear tree, and it lasted for about 3 or 4 days. They dipped it down to about $9, and I remember it. And I said, "Oh my God! If I needed a Bartlett pear tree, I would have bought it right at that point if I needed one. But there's no room anymore for me to do anything." I said, "I still have another 4 feet tall tree. I need to get out of the pot and into the ground." You sound like me, Mr. Price. You sound like me. I got how many trees I gotta get out of these little pots. I gotta get a grapevine in the ground. I gotta get a stake for it. I'm doing it on a single stake system. I love doing it that way. I'm gonna do that, and then I also got a hardy kiwi. I got a place for that to go. I just thought about it in my mind. I said, put it here. It will work perfect right there. And hardy kiwi gonna be right there in direct sunlight. It's gonna be pretty. Hardy kiwi. So I got two kiwi plants. One, like I said, is Isaiah kiwi. Um, Never really got any fruit off of this tree. I mean, off of this vine. Never really got any fruit. I would go as far as saying it's not fruiting because this year it had 3, 4, 5 pieces of fruit on it, and they must have dropped or whatever they did. They did it the year before that and the year before that, and so I'm like, okay, let me, find out what's going on with this plant because this plant is put in it's slightly shaded area that it's in. I know that because when I put it in years ago, that's the only option I thought I had. Um, then all the vegetation around in that area kind of got bigger, and so the plant's still alive, but it's not flourishing there. I can see that. It's not flourishing. It's not full of leaves. It's not putting on any significant growth. It's just hanging around. But so that's where I'm at. So I'm looking at everything in that sense that I need to get these two vines in the ground, load them up once they start leafing it out, load them up with compost. That's how I do it. And then at that point, start to, just care for them until they produce fruit. Kiwi is a great fruit to have on your property. Absolute great fruit. Great, excuse me, fruit to have on your property. Try saying that 10 times fast. So that's where I'm at right now. Getting your food orchard producing. And that's going to be my main focus from here on out. Because I had raspberries supposedly did their job this year. They came on, but they came on slow, and I was fertilizing and I was watching them, but they really didn't do anything. I said, okay, all right, that's cool. I said, I'll figure out what's going on there. So basically, the only ones that are fruiting this year is the apple trees. Also, the one Bartlett, which it was labeled as Bartlett, but it came from a company back in the day that I cannot be sure about. My kiwi plants ended up dying. They'll do that. Kiwi plants, mostly people lose them during the winter months. They'll lose them. I haven't had that problem because it's a really hardy kiwi. That's why they call them that. But right now, I'm looking good. I'm looking good. But I'm glad I'm moving around a lot better now, folks. This shoulder is trying to let me go. But whatever happened to this shoulder, I don't remember hurting it. I just know that it has been almost 3 months now. And whatever happened, happened. And, I'm not taking medication for it or anything like that now. But at first I had to. So on that note, I got peppers today. I looked in the garden. But I got, like I said, I got everything all mixed up. I don't know what peppers they are, but I hope they big gems because I want the seeds from them. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you as well. Miss Miller. Sue Miller. You changed your little picture there, emblem. That's it. We had to cut our kiwi back this summer. We bought it from Tractor Supply. Do you need multiple plants? Listen, multiple kiwi vines. Wait a minute now. I think you're asking me, do you need multiple kiwi vines to produce fruit? Depending on what variety you get. The ones I have will give you some fruit. But with another variety there, you can produce more fruit because it'll have something to cross with. So when I put in this second plant, it's different from the Isaiah. And if the two of them cross, that'll be great. Because they'll tell you, like, for instance, I'll give you, for instance, my grapevines that are on my property now. Wait a minute, hold up. Yeah, my grapes, they did good this year. It came, I forgot about my grapes. They did good this year. They come in, it was pretty. It was pretty. All you got to do with grapevines is really remember that they're heavy feeders and keep them fed. Are kiwi easy to root? Yes and no. The only problem I've had with kiwis is that when you get them started in the spring and summer, get them up, get them some size to them, get them where they get a little woody, and then you can leave them out there all winter. Leave them out there all green and tender. You might not have them when come back around this spring. What's the other thing I want to tell you? They like loose, loomy soil. They don't like their feet to stay wet. You don't like it. They don't like it at all. So make sure you keep an eye on that. You're not plant them so that you're not planting them in a low spot where they just lay in water all the time. That's not good. Um, but kiwi can be a successfully grown plant as long as you match those zones up. Um, Put them in a sunny location. Uh, the Isaiah will tolerate some shade, but they like sun. They like your grapevines and your tomato plants. They like the sun. So you get them up, you get them growing nice and healthy. And Tract Supply is a great place to buy plants because you get a better price than you will at most of the time at the big box stores. Let's see. Grow grapes for muscadines. I almost bought a pot of muscadine once when I was at Lowe's. It was the last pot back there, marked all the way down from like I think about like $19, marked all the way down to about like $7 or $3. They were trying to get rid of it, and I said, "God darn it, I'd buy it if I had a place for it. I don't have a place for it, and that's why I left it there." But it was a healthy plant. It's just that they left it there because people wanted one that was real pretty, that was watered properly and fed properly. They don't do that when they get them into the stores. They do not do that. Once they get them in the stores, the plants are on their own. Whatever water they had in them, a lot of times it's all they're going to water it. Um, so I usually wait till after the heat of the growing season. And when people start slowing up, I go back there and I look at things like raspberries, grapevines. I go up there and get me a person and come back there and see, can we knock this price down? And I'll clear off some of your shelf that you get ready to throw away. The grapevines that have this on my property right now are doing absolutely beautiful. Those grapevines were $1 a piece, folks, marked down from $10, $1 a piece. And I bought them because I know how to look at them and say, all you need to do with this is water. All you need to do with this is water and feed it. I got them home, stuck them in the ground, watered them up, gave them a little bit of fish emulsion. Boom, they took off. Didn't need no help. Didn't need no help. Didn't need a set of crutches. Didn't need a walker. They just took off. And so once you get those type of things growing on your property, you set. You cannot have the grocery store punking you like they do for them high prices or selling you fruit. I don't know if anyone of you ever had grapes or strawberries. You're eating them, you're all happy and everything. Then you get near the bottom, you realize you've been eating mold along with your grapes. Mold. I don't like that. When that happened to me one time, twice, three times, whatever, I said, I had it. I said, I can't do this no more. I said, I can't do this no more. These people about to kill me, eating mold. So I don't want to do that. Let's see. I'm in zone 8A and I planted 2 grapevines earlier this year. How long will it take for them to start producing fruit? Probably about 2 years. Probably about 2 years. And if you want to rush it, um, plant them. Don't plant them right up on each other. Give them some space between each other. Um, Sunlight. Keep them. And here's what you want to do with grapevines. A lot of people will not tell you this. You put them in the ground. You get them to start growing first before you start fertilizing them. And don't fertilize them way close up near wintertime because they keep growing all that tender growth during the wintertime. You're going to have winter dieback. And that can be detrimental to a plant. But at any rate, spring comes in, right? Nice and pretty. You fertilize that plant. You fertilize that plant. As soon as you start seeing those green little bumps appearing on them, or you see the brown bumps swelling, you see them swelling, go ahead and fertilize that plant. Another thing I want to tell you is if you put a grapevine in the ground and you don't know where it is, and when it turns brown in the winter, you can lose track of that plant. I always put a little stake next to mine when they're real little, a little stake, bamboo or whatever. I put it there so I know where this is. I'm growing grapes, but some are starting to go bad before they mature. Okay, you got grapes going bad before they mature. Now, I'm thinking when you make a statement like that, you're talking about some kind of disease problem. That's always prevalent in grapes. I couldn't tell you what kind of disease it may be, but I will say this. Um, when you start going into winter and your plant is growing and you take a couple of cuttings off grapevines are the absolute easiest plant on God's green earth to root from. All you need is a couple cuttings at about 6, 8 inches tall. You can push them down into a flower pot that, say, a flower pot you forgot about, plants no longer there, shove them down in there, or you could put them into a box with a little bit of compost and sand mix, 50-50 mix, and shove them down into that, which that's a better mix at any rate. That's a better way to go about it because it's got a lot of loose ground and they can send their roots out. You put about 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 or 30 cuttings in there and just ride it out, keep them watered, keep them in sunlight. When spring come back in, they start budding out. You have more grapevines than you know what to do with. You actually have enough that if you wanted to, you could actually sell suckers. They grow. And you'll get all these plants. Let me give you a good example right now. I got a beautiful plant outside right now called a Neptune. Big, huge white grape, seedless. Here's what happened. I didn't get a chance to get to my yard last year because I injured my knee. Everything grew over. Weeds covered everything. Trees, it covered grapevines, everything. I couldn't get out there. Couldn't walk, basically. I couldn't walk. But when I got out there, I saw that the plants, all of them are okay. Couple pulled to the ground behind the weeds. I'd stand them back up. But one was dead, and that was a Neptune. The only one that I pretty much thought I only had one plant left. And I looked over into a flower pot that was sitting over near edge of the yard or whatever. And I looked at it and I said, wait a minute. I stuck some cuttings in there last year. But what grapevine did I stick it? Neptune. And there was only one Neptune plant alive from that pot. And I had to start over again. But I did not, I repeat, I did not have to go back to the store and give somebody $25 for another grapevine plant. Now, when this plant tomorrow or sometime this week, Neptune going in the ground. When it goes in the ground, it's going to be fertilized heavily with compost. If I have to take a 5-gallon bucket and put around it, it's going to be compost because everything in my yard, all the whole system, if I don't go out anywhere and buy any more fertilizer, my yard will supply all this fertilizer, all of it. I only buy fertilizer for fun. When I go out there, I like to go out there and catch some deals where a $7 bag is now $2. $7 bag is now $1.95. I like to do that. I went out and bought almost a case of fish emulsion. They were 50 cents each. 50 cents each a container. Somebody already went there and cleared out. The lady told me, she said, some guy came in here and bought 3 cases of it. They were 50 cents a container. They were getting rid of them. I came in there, God darn it, I said, I only got 8 bottles. So, but they were 50 cents each. And fish emulsion is kind of good to keep around. It's kind of good to keep around. If you don't feel like or have the time to make any fertilizer, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, good people, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is the Morning Garden Show. And we had a good conversation today about my garden and also some of your garden. And I hope that you use some of the information you found, that you can use here. Because I'm always trying my best. I just try to help people. I'm being encouraged by people to tell me, stop giving this information away. Stop selling it. I mean, people all around me talking in my ear, sell it, sell it, sell it. You've been doing this too long. You know what you're talking about. Just sell it. And I'm saying, well, I like helping people. But at any rate, ladies and gentlemen and family, I want you to have a good day. And remember that I am going to do the best to keep the show on the air. I'm going to do it. Sometimes sometimes it feels pretty tough when you don't get any viewers. But God darn it, I don't care about that anymore. I'm going to go ahead and do it. If I only got one person watching this show, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it if I got no people watching this show. That's an attitude. Put it on air. Somebody will get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Morning Gardener, and remember to keep on growing. Yes, keep on growing.